Good morning, children. Today we are here to discuss a lesson by name Swami Vivekananda, or we are here to study a lesson Swami Vivekananda. As you all know that he is a very popular leader of India, right? So before going to lesson, here there is a pre-reading activity. Let's see and understand. Name a few leaders you look up to and say why you do so. Okay. Then what qualities does one need to become a good leader? Give me a few men and women who are pure and selfless, and I shall shake the world. Do you know who said this? It is Swami Vivekananda. So here, that means writer in the pre-reading activity, he is telling you to name a few leaders who you look up to and say why you do so. See, every day in the class, after coming to the class, we see our national leaders. Okay, so like especially Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Mahatma Gandhi, and many others. And there is a question: why do you look at them? Okay, because they are the persons who fought for our nation and who brought freedom to our nation, or who gave independence to our nation. These are the leaders who fought for our country bravely, courageously, okay, and sincerely and selflessly. The main thing is selflessly, without having any selfishness. They fought for the sake of millions of Indians. Today what Indians we are enjoying the freedom, it is mainly because of those freedom fighters who selflessly sacrificed their lives for the sake of this country. And so today we are here and we are enjoying these rights. Okay, what qualities does one need to become a good leader? Okay, he should be honest, sincere, dedicated. Okay, that means he has to be a duty bound, right? He should believe that work is worship. More than, he should be sincere and honest person. So these are some of the qualities that a leader should possess. That means a leader should have these qualities in him. Then here is a statement: give me a few men and women who are pure and selfless, and I shall shake the world. See, do you know who said so? It is none other than Swami Vivekananda. So today we are going to discuss about one such great personality of India. He was not only a leader, he was a religious leader. We can give him many titles, like religious leader, a social reformer, a philosopher, a guide. Okay, and even in some cases we can call him as a freedom fighter. Okay, who insisted the youth to wake up and fight for the nation, right? So today we are discussing a lesson by name Swami Vivekananda, right? India is a land of many religions and cultures. People here take both pleasure and pain alike. They are dedicated and duty bound. In this land, many well known religious leaders have been born. One such leader has been Swami Vivekananda. So, in this first paragraph, the author says, or the writer of this lesson, he says that India is a land of many religions and cultures. No doubt, India is a land of many religions and culture. India is a secular country where we see many religions and cultures and faiths exist in India. For example, Hindus are there, Muslims are there, Christians are there, Sikhs are there, Jains are there, Parsis are there, Zoroastrians are there, and different kinds of cultures we see to follow in India. Okay, we see in India different cultures, traditions, cultures, customs, traditions, and many other things, different languages. Okay, that is the reason India is said to be a land of diversity. Okay, unity in diversity. Though there is a diversity in each and every places of India, total including union territories and states. Yet we are all unified. Yet we are all unified. That is what we call unity in diversity. Okay. So here further he says that people here take both pleasure and pain alike. So in India we get to see people taking the pleasures and pain. Okay. As a human being we need to experience both pleasure and pain alike. Okay. Like I can say that uh, pleasure and pain are the two faces of a single coin. They are the two faces of a single coin. Sometimes if we get joys, okay, at the next moment we may face sorrows. Okay. And then these Indians are dedicated and duty bond. That means Indians are sincere. Okay. They believe in work is worship. They believe in work is worship. Okay. Worshipping to God is nothing but doing our work promptly and sincerely. Okay. In this land, many well known religious leaders have been born. One such leader has been Swami Vivekananda. See, in this land, many well known religious leaders have been born. No doubt, this is the land of saints. This is the lands of saints, monks, sadhus, and many other things. Okay. So here, when it comes to religious leaders, I can say that just like social reformers like Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Khwaja Banda Nawaz, okay, Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti of Ajmer, and many other people are well known in India, right? So one such leader has been Swami Vivekananda. One such leader has been Swami Vivekananda. So this in this lesson we are going to discuss about Swami Vivekananda. Let's read the passage. One day, a small boy jumped out of the coach in which he was traveling and ran to his mother with a smiling face. He pointed at the coachman and told his mother, I want to be a coachman. How nice it is to drive a coach. The mother could not say anything at that time. Later, she showed him the picture of Gita Upadesha and patted him, saying, Dear Naren, if you want, you can be a coachman, but you should be a coachman like Krishna who taught Arjuna. Though the boy did not understand it clearly, he became later what his mother wanted him to be. The little boy Naren later came to be known as Swami Vivekananda, a great spiritual leader and India's pride. And India's pride. Okay? So one day, a small boy jumped out of the coach. Okay? One day, a small boy jumped out of the coach in which he was traveling and he ran to his mother with a smiling face. As we all do, as soon as we go to home, when we get out of the auto, think that your mother is standing in front of the gate, and what you do after the school hours when your mother is standing in front of the gate, you run to her with a smiling face. Okay, so like this, a small boy jumped out of the coach in which he was traveling and ran to his mother with a smiling face. And further, he pointed at the coachman and told his mother, I want to be a coachman. How nice it is to drive a coach. Okay, so he went to his mother and he pointed at the coachman. That means he showed at the coachman. Coachman is nothing but one who drives a coach, or one who drives a cart. One who drives a cart or a coach is called a coachman. So showing at the coachman, he told his mother that he wanted to be a coachman, that he wanted to become a coachman, because here the boy thought that it would be fine, it would be very nice to drive a coach. He was enjoying that. He was enjoying while he was traveling on the coach. Okay, so that is the reason he feels, the boy feels that it is really nice to drive a coach. Okay, and sometimes you may do that. Sometimes you may be also doing that. So I want to drive this auto, mummy. Mummy, I want to drive this auto, right? So these are the things. Don't say it, because sometimes when you hear this, when you tell your mother to that you will become a coachman, or you want to drive a coach or a auto, your mother may beat you. Okay, Right. So mother could not say anything at that time. Later, she showed him the picture of Gitopadesha and patted him, saying, "Dear Naren, if you want, you can be a coachman, but you should be a coachman like Krishna who taught Arjuna." Though the boy did not understand it clearly, he became later what his mother wanted him to be. The little boy Naren later came to be known as Swami Vivekananda, a great spiritual leader and India's pride. Okay, so here the mother could not say anything at that moment. When the boy showed the coachman, and he said that he wanted to be a coachman, he wanted to become a coachman. At that time, mother could not say anything because she was confused. She was confused. She did not have any words to say. Right. Later, she showed him the picture of Gita Upadesha. After entering into the home, she showed him the picture of Gita Upadesha and patted him, saying, that means she touched on her back, okay, by patting him. She said, "Dear Naren, if you want, you can be a coachman." See, Naren, you want to become a coachman, you be a coachman. Okay, we don't have any problem, okay, to be a coachman. Okay, so you want to become a coachman, you be a coachman, we don't bother. But you should be a coachman like Krishna who taught Arjuna. You should become a coachman like Krishna who taught Arjuna. Right. The mother says that, okay, you be a coachman, we don't bother for that, but the thing is that you had to become a coachman like Krishna. Okay, who taught Arjuna. These two, Krishna and Arjuna, are the two characters in the Mahabharata. Okay, in Mahabharata, you know that Mahabharata is said to be the longest poem of the world, and it is described as the fifth Veda. After four Vedas, the fifth place is taken by Mahabharata. Okay, it is the one of the great epics of India, we can say. So she quoted from the showing the picture of Gita Upadesha. She said that to become a coachman like Krishna who taught Arjuna. But the boy, he was a boy. He was just a boy of 6 or 8 years old. We can say that. Who? Swami Vivekananda. I am talking about the childhood of Swami Vivekananda, and the childhood name of Swami Vivekananda was Narendranath Datta. Narendranath Datta. So here she is my mother, with love. She is calling him Naren. Okay, the boy did not understand it clearly because he was just a boy. He did not get the words of his mother. He could not understand the words of his mother. In future, in future, what his mother wanted to be, he became that. In future, what his mother wanted him to be, or want to what she wanted him to become, that he became. That he became. Okay. The little boy Naren came to be known as Swami Vivekananda. When he grew up, he came to be known as Swami Vivekananda, a great spiritual leader and India's pride. A great spiritual leader and India's pride. Okay. Spiritual leader. Who is a spiritual leader? A mystic leader. In Kannada, we can say it as Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika. Right? And India's pride. Okay, India is a respect and worth of India. Is the respect and the worth of India, we can say that. Okay, I'll show you the pictures of Gita Upadesha, and here is the picture of Gita Upadesha. Okay, so this is the battlefield where Arjuna is taught by Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna. Okay, this is the picture of Gita Upadesha. She showed him the picture of Gita Upadesha and told him to become a coachman like Krishna who taught Arjuna. Right? We can say that Krishna was the guru and a spiritual guru of Arjuna, we can say that, where in Mahabharata. Right? So see here. This is what Sri Krishna is giving the lesson, or he is teaching, or he is okay, or he is preaching Arjuna. Okay, so this is what she showed and told him to be like uh, Krishna who taught Arjuna. So, Narendra was born on 12th January 1863 to Vishwanatha Datta and Bhuvaneshwari Devi in Kolkata. Okay. They considered the child the boon of God Vireshwara Shiva and named him Vireshwara. Later, they gave him the name Narendranath Datta. At the age of 6, Narendra was sent to primary school and later to a private tutor. He studied Sanskrit grammar, long passages from the Ramayana and Mahabharata. He had a strong desire to study more and more, and he wanted to see God. He met many people, but he was not able to get a satisfactory answer. So, in this paragraph, we come to know that Narendra, that means Swami Vivekananda, was born on 12th of January 1863 to Vishwanatha Datta and Bhuvaneshwari Devi, where in Kolkata. I mean to say that Vishwanatha Datta and Bhuvaneshwari Devi were the parents of Swami Vivekananda, right? And Swami Vivekananda was born on 12th of January 1863. So here, uh, parents, that means Vishwanatha Datta and Bhuvaneshwari Devi, they considered the boy to be a gift of God Vireshwara Shiva. Okay, they believed him to be the gift of God Vireshwara Shiva. As a result, they named him Vireshwara. They named him Vireshwara. We can say that before your birth, sometimes your mother had visited a temple of Shiva or Parvati or some other god and goddesses. Okay, and that means she was asking the god to give her a baby, a boy baby, baby boy or baby girl. Okay, and if she gets a baby boy or a baby girl, she would keep the name of that boy or girl in the name of that god or goddesses. So they considered the child to be a boon of God Vireshwara Shiva, or a gift of God Vireshwara Shiva. In Kannada we can call it as Vara. Okay, Vara of God Vireshwara Shiva, and they named him Vireshwara. Later, they gave him the name Narendranath Datta, and after naming ceremony or cradle ceremony, we say that. Okay, after that, they named him Narendranath Datta. So, at the age of 6, Narendra was sent to primary school and later to a private tutor. So, in government schools, when you are going to admissions or when you are going to study in government schools, your age should be 6 to attend the school, first standard, right? So, here at the age of 6, Narendra was sent to primary school and later and after that to a private tutor. And after that, he was sent to a private tutor. Tutor is nothing but teacher, we can say that. He was sent to a private teacher to learn more. He studied Sanskrit grammar, long passages from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. See, Swami Vivekananda, he mainly studied Sanskrit grammar. Today, how we are studying English grammar, Kannada grammar, Hindi grammar, like that, in those days, Swami Vivekananda, he studied Sanskrit grammar, right? Then long passages from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Long passages are nothing but passages that have small stories, we can say that. So he studied long passages from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Ramayana and the Mahabharata are the two great epics of India. Ramayana and the Mahabharata are the two great epics of India. When we are calling this, when you are taking the name of Ramayana, we have to say the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Okay, right? He had a strong desire to study more and more. He wanted to see God, right? See, he had a strong desire to study more and more, and he wanted to see God. See, Narendra had a desire. That means he had a wish. He had a wish of seeing seeing the God. Before that, he wanted to study more. He desired or he wished to study more and more, to know each and everything, just like an encyclopedia, we can say that. A encyclopedia is nothing but a book containing all the branches of knowledge, right? And he wanted to see God. He wanted to see God. That means he had a desire or a wish to see God. To see God. Is it possible to see God? Yes, children? Yes? Okay, not in the temples or the masjid. We don't see the God's real God in temples or the masjid, but the God is there. He is there, no doubt. God is there, but we cannot see Him. We cannot see Him. He can be experienced. He can be, God can be experienced, but we cannot see the God, right? So here Swami Vivekananda, he had a wish of seeing God. He met many people, but he was unable to get a satisfactory answer. So, due to this, he met many teachers, philosophers, scholars, guides, pandits, pujaris, right, and many priests, but he could not get a satisfactory answer. Okay, so he was not happy or satisfied with the answer given by the gurus or the teachers and other scholars, right? So in the next class we are continuing the next part. Thank you.